People who don't know your show, you won Best Comedy at the Fringe Festival in Melbourne. Can you tell everyone a little bit about what it's about?
Sure, I'll let Isabel talk about that because she plays the main character, who is 11-year-old Stella Wilkinson, a precocious performer.
Well, yes, her name is Stella. She is, yes, aspiring for fame, basically. She just wants to be the next it girl. She thinks she is going to be the next it girl. She doesn't really mind what she gets famous for, but as long as she gets famous, basically. Okay. She had like a hit. She did have a hit YouTube, like viral video when she was younger, and then since then, like, you know, she's famous for like a second, and then is no one again, and is trying to reclaim that. It's fun. It's weird. She's 11, so obviously
it's quite terrifying how convincing 25-year-old Isabel can play the 11-year-old tween.
Yeah, people suspend their disbelief for a bit. I think they meet us halfway.
Yep.
So it's not like I become an 11-year-old, but they, you know, also get into the vibe.
Let's hope not.
So audiences are used to coming to a show and being like, oh, we're going to see some things that...
It's acting.
Pretending.
It's pretend, yeah.
It's theatre. It's not real. She's not 11.
Yeah.
Okay, noted. What was it like receiving the award? Did you know you were nominated?
No,
it
not
was
at all.
Totally overwhelming. I remember them saying Edge, and Josh, my boyfriend, pushed us, and we
like
sort
to
of
go up on stage
because we were just
we were like at each other like
what? And I think we very awkwardly went up on stage and hugged Felix from Melbourne Fringe. No one else did that. Everyone else was like a reasonable adult. Was like, thank you very much. And
we were like, oh.
And then we went backstage and Isabel started just sobbing.
Aww. Yeah, like a beauty pageant. Like I did this. Like with happiness.
And then this wonderful thing happened. So then the girls from, how do you say it? They saw a thylacine.
Thylacine.
They saw a thylacine and they won. They came back and we just won Best Comedy, and it was 4 girls and we all just started jumping up and down together. Women!
What was the inspiration for your show?
Izzy has to answer that.
Oh, okay. It was a character that I had for a while. We did our other comedy festival show, and then we were like, let's do a show about Stella. So it started with a character, and then we sort of built a world around the character. It sort of started as a concept, and then we made an hour show out of it.
One thing that Isabel, who's done a screenwriting course, taught me, which is amazing, is just to write it first. And because I really struggle. I'm like, oh, writing, you know, you have to make it funny. And she always says, like, just write.
And then make it funny after, hopefully.
The biggest thing for us, I guess, is if Izzy brings something and we both find it hilarious and we both laugh at it, then we
put it in.
Yeah, that's great.
So we try and make ourselves laugh first and foremost.
Yeah.
And how do you rehearse?
We go out for brunch first.
Okay. Always. Coffee.
Yeah,
because otherwise we can't. We get too distracted.
Yeah.
So rehearsing requires number 1 coffee.
Yep.
And then
it actually requires a lot of time because we need to chat a lot first. We can't just we can't come in cold and just be like, okay, rehearse.
Let's go.
We have to like, oh, and how was your day and things like that, and then we can maybe do it.
Like rehearsal foreplay.
Yeah, it is. And then we do it at the very end, and then we're like, oh, that was great. And then we've run out of time.
Yeah.
Do you ever have disagreements? Do you ever like want to rip each other's hair out?
Once we did.
Yeah.
It was after we won the award. We got so stressed.
Oh, we get as you can probably gather, we get overwhelmed and stressed.
Yeah.
We're not like screaming at each other ever.
No, just that one time we sent all these really formal emails to each other.
Oh yeah.
You remember?
Yes. And then it was just resolved.
How did that happen? Formal emails. I can't picture it.
It's almost like
Dear Isabel.
Yeah, it was like that.
Sincerely, Rachel.
Yeah.
It was.
Kind regards.
It's like because the show's over, we're both a bit secretly sad that it's over, and then we try and like create more drama or something. I don't know.
So, what's some advice you could give to, people who are trying to get a show together, perhaps pretty early on in their careers?
Neil Potenza, Josh, not Neil Potenza, he doesn't say this, Josh, the man behind Neil Potenza, always says to me that the most important thing is having a good show, and I think there's real truth to that. Because if you have a good show, then word of mouth can really work for you, but it's also that balancing act, and this is the hardest thing. You never really know how much energy you should be putting into making sure people hear about it as making it. So I guess the great thing about what we've got, if you could possibly replicate it, is having a good mix of skills, creative skills as well as administrative skills. Also having heaps of fun.
Yes.
Having heaps of fun makes everything better, always.
It's got to be fun. If it's like too stressful, then
just don't do it
don't
then.
do it.
One of the comments that you made on Facebook just a few days before you opened the show was that you wanted to change the whole ending.
Oh yeah.
What happened there?
Wow, you're good.
She does research.
Detective. Oh my god, what did happen there?
I can't even remember what happened there.
Is it because I had a bit of tantrum?
Oh yeah, it was, because remember we finished it in a certain way that required Isabel to do some choreography,
Which you're normally happy to do.
and it was just like I do remember this now. We were in my room, and I was like, okay, well, we need to get this. It was like so close.
It was like the day before. I think.
Yeah, and we'd only just got the music and everything together, and Izzy just flipped out and was like,
Suddenly.
she was like, I can't fit any. She was like, no, I'll just think about it and we'll do it tomorrow. And I was like, I don't think we can. And it was like, we need to do a different thing. And so we had a bit of a...
And I was like, there's no more room in my brain. I have no more room in my brain.
Because comedy's like heaps of fun, right?
Yeah.
Heaps and heaps of fun, and we have a lot of fun. But also, like, I genuinely think that it's a good story to be out in the world, and I believe in it as a story and as a piece of work. So I think it's really amazing when you are given the freedom, like through these festivals, to create things that have sort of a genuinely new voice or a point of view that you wouldn't find elsewhere. And so I believe in our show in that way.
Awesome.
Well, thank you very much, Isabel and Rachel, for coming in to talk about Stella and Edge.
Thank you.
And everyone should go and definitely see this